specialist in this foreign. Dr. Miguel, please provide general something that into higher learning.
With respect to Excellency Leading lecturers, professors, leading my students, and my distinguished panelists. Also, my principal director, probably youngest, for sure. And that way, our panelists have talked and mentioned a lot regarding to the lifelong learning we're going to have triple L's. I would like to draw some attentions about the lifelong learning. It's beyond the degrees. It's not about the degree anymore when you talk about lifelong learning. And higher education institutions are not playing the roles as the gatekeeper of the knowledge, but they should be in the facilitators. Because if you turn your students to be more productive and active in terms of lifelong learning, it's not about keeping them. It's about delivering content and providing more approaches of learning. Since based on the pedagogical technique, we have three learning approaches. We have formal learning, non-formal learning, and informal learning. Formal learning, it's about you are going to school for 4 years, 3 years, and after 5 years, you're gonna earn certificates. And this is the formal learning. And after you finish your formal learning, then you stop it. I think this is the mistake, personally. Because we have another learning, which is called non-formal learning. And this is the way that we have the micro-credential techniques of the students. Because in non-formal learning, we're going to share you with the workshops, seminars, training courses. This is the publication I published last week, training effectiveness of that. Because some employees, they need more time to be trained, to be learned, in order to be more productive, improve their job performance in terms of task performance, contextual performance, and counterproductive work behavior. You see? So this is the way that we can provide more non-formal learning. And the last approach of learning, which is very crucial for that. I mean, this is the informal learning. And also very staff, very student, and you too. So we heard the quotation from our chairman, learn from school, learn from work, and self-learning. This is the last one. The last one is informal learning. You learn from yourself, you learn from your experiences, you learn from people around you, you learn from other factors that can influence your knowledge. Simplify says, we can just make it more easier to understand what is lifelong learning. Our distinguished panelists mentioned like reskilling, upskilling, professional development, the knowledge enrichment. If you just like what Dr. said, when you learn to cook, say the breakfast, you should learn to cook the lunch. When you know how to cook lunch, you should learn how to cook dinner, right? So this is the lifelong learning. It happens to you. When you are holding bachelor degree, you're gonna have another degree. When you have master degree, you should pursue another degree. This is called upskilling. Reskilling, you are learning to be a teacher. In next 5 years, you said, no, I'm gonna be a doctor. So you are learning medical science. You see? So people keep learning all the time. And people keep attending the workshops all the time. Even very good, we also organize schedule the workshop for the teachers, for the staff. You see? So this is the way that we can identify that non-formal learning and also informal learning happen a lot. So these three learning approaches, after the first you complete it from your universities, you should start from the second and the third one. And I really appreciate that, you know, at BELTEI International University also organized the practical training. This is the part of lifelong learning as well. It's not about the theoretical education from lecturers to classroom. We also take them to the real sectors, to the real fields. This is the way that we cultivate the habit of learning. When the student acquires the certificate education, they can use it for their real application. And long soon and after, the student they will realize that it is important to practice more. It is important to learn new things, which is called innovative. And I really support AI, artificial intelligence. That is a very good tool for you to practice and try to use it wisely, because it is the assistant of us. It's not our teacher. You use AI for your lifelong learning, for continuous learning. I support with that. But if you use AI as your teacher, I will not support with that. One day, your ideas are lost. One day, without AI, probably we are nothing, you know. This is the idea. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. B. This all is shared by Chom. He also mentioned regarding to formal